and welcome to this episode of Decoding Data Analytics. This show is all about analytics from the perspective of global data experts who are CTOs, authors, analytic leaders, hiring managers, and top data professionals. And I'll be your host for the show, Jahanvee Narang. In this podcast, we have Ashish Kothari. He's a senior data analyst and LinkedIn. And now he'll start with the introduction by himself as only. So, yeah, over to you, Ashish. Would love to know more
Yeah,
about you.
thank you so much, Janvi, for having me, and I really appreciate it. So, hi everyone, I'm Ashish Kothari. I'm working for LinkedIn right now as a senior data analyst. I'm working for the marketing team, and so basically, my day to day is SQL Tableau, as everyone knows. But yeah, I'll get into more details after this. But in short, right now it's been like 9 months working here, and it's amazing. So I love this journey, and this is what I want to do forward. So hoping to carry on with this.
Wow, that's really amazing. I'm so excited to know about your journey. Like, how did you move into the field of analytics and how did you land it at LinkedIn? Like, that's a big question.
Yeah, sure. Actually, I had a lot of struggle, I can say that way. So, yeah, analytics. First, when I came to US, I actually transferred from Australia. So I was there for 6 months, did my first semester there, and then
Okay.
took a transfer to Northeastern University, continued here. Actually, I first took project management. I was more interested in management product side, but then
Mhm.
I got I had to take one or two data analytics courses, and that's how I discovered this side and was very interested. So I went on with that journey, and it turned out to be good. I like it. Like it's an interesting part where you have to understand and support uh, how to do something, and you have to support by your data, not just by your instincts. So it's fun. So that's how I got it. But yeah, LinkedIn, it was actually it's just a different story. So I was also laid off last year because of COVID. So I
Mm.
was in a job search market for almost 5 to 6 months. I gave an interview for
Okay.
LinkedIn in May. They reached out back to me in October. So they were on hiring freeze. But unfortunately, they were on a hiring freeze, and when they opened, they someone left, so they had to fill that position. So I went through two more rounds of interview again to see how it goes, and I got in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one of the things
Wow.
I got into was uh, by networking. Yeah, by a couple of friends that helped me network, and that's how I got there.
Yeah, we'll talk a lot about marketing in later questions. But yeah,
Sure.
even when I was going through your LinkedIn, I saw that you graduated in 2020 from Northeastern. So, I mean, that was really scary. So, like, how was your experience? Because I guess 2020 was a recession or hiring freeze phase, and 2023 as well. So, I know a lot of graduates who graduated this year from US and from other countries as well, and they're still struggling. So, maybe if you'll be able to share those emotions, like, how did
Yeah,
you
no,
finally land? It's a good thing at the end, like, so, like, what
yeah,
keeps you motivated and keep going?
definitely. So it's a when I was graduating, I started quite early because I was very much aware of the COVID situation because getting
Mhm.
so we were our on-campus jobs were also stopped. So I got to understand what was the position like moving forward. So I started early on, and I actually landed a job before graduating. So
Wow.
that was just my luck, I say. So yeah, I started 6 months earlier. So that is, I think that could be an ideal thing. Or you can even start 1 year. For big companies, they hire new graduate roles for big year for 1+ year, starting 1 year before only. So yeah, definitely you can apply there. And yeah, what was your next question? So you were asking me how was my journey. Yeah, I got into a good startup at Boston. So it was a different scenario because I was wearing multiple hats along with data analyst, and I learned a
Mhm.
lot down the line. But uh, due to startup and due to COVID, they had to let me go because I was the only junior there. So yeah, that was my journey starting. But I enjoyed working there.
Oh, that's cool. So, just a follow-up question on that. So, these days, since there's a hiring freeze, so uh, should someone who's graduating or who will be graduated should focus on like tech companies who are big, or should focus on like startups who are also involving data analysts and other roles? So, you'll not be spending like 100% of your time and devotion to something you love and you want to pursue, and bifurcate that work with, other tasks which does not come under your umbrella? Or is it okay because it's hiring freeze and you have to just cope up, or, just focus and prepare, take 1 to 2 more months and focus on, your target companies with 100% of data analytics role?
No, a good question. But so there are two aspects to this. So basically, when you work for a startup, you get to actually learn a lot many more things, and it can be
Yeah.
a good for a career growth, and you can explore new things as well. So and because startups support, they know that you are from a certain background, and they will support you to learn different things. So that can be a positive as well as negative. Unless if you just want, we are very sure about being into analytics, and you just want to take care of your journey forward, so you can definitely prepare for big companies and yeah, try in that. But I would say, just say, like, first decide not just tech company, don't target just tech company. Decide where your interest lies. It could be healthcare also, because all the applications for analytics are different in different industry. So don't treat all the industries as same. I would definitely say, like, even if when you prepare your resume, prepare according to your industry, and prepare the question and answers according to that industry, because it will vary a lot. And I have been in that board where I was giving healthcare and tech company interview together, but it's very different. So when you answer it, there is a different way of answering. There's different concepts you have to think about based on industry. So definitely narrow down what your interest lies in. Based on your projects also, you can get an overview, like, okay, I've done this project, this interests me, maybe I want to go into this one. So yeah, that way you can try to narrow it down.
Yeah, that's actually good because I guess with data analytics, a lot of people forget that the business context is also very important. It's not just about being data analytics in any company, it's also about having a business domain or
Yeah.
business context to work in a certain domain, because all the KPIs, metrics, project, your input will be, involved in that. So I guess, yeah,
No.
that's a very good point.
Yeah, I agree to your point. Definitely. Like, you should diverse your portfolio, learn. Like, best way to understand what industry you could be interested in is go and do projects of various kinds of projects. Like, you do one healthcare project, you do one tech project, and you can do one social media or any other project. That can help you
Yeah.
narrow it down. Okay, this is what interesting.
What
So you
interests
can
me,
take
and
it.
I can, pursue
Yes.
it based on that company as well. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to the main question, which is, what does a typical day look like for a senior data analyst at LinkedIn? Like, I know a lot of people who scrolls LinkedIn like whole day, but what do you do who actually works as a data analyst in LinkedIn?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. So I actually, there are four different BUs under LinkedIn, like four different business units. So I work for Sales Navigator, which is another one BU. So I'm so I what my day to day is to help marketing build a targeting campaign, and to understand, okay, which what is the target audience for that too. So I build that audience based on analytics, and we have a lot of data that has gone through. We test that data and see, okay, this is uh, this is more prominent to convert for this particular BU or this BU. So that is how we decide, and that is how the targeting audience is prepared based on what kind of email or marketing we are trying to do. So targeting audience is one of the major part of my job day to day. So to understand, okay, and based on that, we have to improve those strategies like every cent. So we have to see, okay, how did that perform. So the KPIs could be opt-out rate, CTR, or any other thing. Like, so you have to, so suppose there is a webinar. I know, like, LinkedIn also sends out a lot of webinars, and you can join in for free and those things. So we also narrow it down and do the analysis based on those things, how many people registered, and then do the analysis. Okay, now this could be our new target audience, or this could be updated in the existing criteria that we are trying to target. So that is how, and we are trying to do a lot of campaigns. And other thing is, like, when we are doing this, we also have to understand, like, how business is performing, from where business is coming, which there are multiple channels. You can see, like, marketing is done on email, like
Mhm.
social media, and there are multiple other factors, that advertisement and everything. So you have to understand where business is coming from. You have to also do those analysis. Okay, this channel is bringing in more business. What can we do
Yeah.
more? What new strategy we can bring in? So that is all the work we do in LinkedIn. And at the time, I can say right now, like, every day I'm working on 5 different requests at the same time, and they are all running parallelly. So you have to divide your time, and you have to be very active and
Yeah,
understand like what are your priority. Prioritization is a must thing in LinkedIn. So
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if you talk about like Home Depot, we know it's a home improvement retailer. If you talk about CVS, we know it's a pharmacy. What's LinkedIn like? What's the domain of LinkedIn? Like, how should one prepare for a domain like LinkedIn? Can you like define the business of LinkedIn if you can?
Yeah, so it also depends based on what team are you going to work into. So it varies a lot because LinkedIn, we see just as a premium, usually, like not saying we see, but usually it's like most of the people have perspective that LinkedIn only has a premium or nothing else. But there are multiple ways that you can get your business support from there. Like Sales Navigator, that helps you to, directly message the decision maker of a company, pitch your product
Yeah.
directly to them. So those are multiple other services that LinkedIn offers, and those are great. So when you say you have to prepare for your interview, it depends on which team are you actually trying to get into. But overall, you can prepare as a like a normal social media company who's trying to get revenue from different sources, and
Okay.
so those analysis will definitely come into hand, and then you can take it from there and narrow it down for LinkedIn specifically.
Oh, that's interesting. So basically, in short, we can say that LinkedIn is a social media company who's trying to increase revenue and want to earn more from different sources, and that's how you guys are helping being analyst.
Uh, Not really just social media company. There are like I'm just saying like you can take it in one aspect, like a premium, for
Yeah.
example. Like, but they are actually doing a lot many amazing things for everyone who is using their services. They are just continuously trying to put in AI, and we also have to go through that process. Okay, so being an analyst doesn't mean like you're not very close to tech, but you also
Yeah.
like learn about a lot. You have to continuously learn about AI, how they are implementing it, and how we have to now target new people and build new strategies. So it's a learning process, but I would not say exactly social media. But yeah,
Okay.
you can consider like how online uh, digital
One of the
marketing is
aspects
one
is,
aspect. One of
yeah,
the aspect is
yeah,
social media. I'm trying to
yeah.
find the right word. Uh, Affiliate marketing, you can say. Those are the aspects. There are multiple hats, you can say.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I mean, everyone uses LinkedIn these days. So
Yeah.
it's like a giant hub for everyone, not just like tech people. I've seen so many social media people, social media influencers being there. I've seen so many comedians been there who really enjoy sharing their experience. There are a lot of memes being shared, a lot of useful content. I feel that everyone who is in tech industry, whether it's in college or a company or has started their own business, everyone is on LinkedIn and sharing just their information or cracking jokes and making everyone laugh. But yeah, it's I guess a must use tool these days for tech people. Like
Uh,
I don't see anyone using not using LinkedIn who's a tech person.
no, there are other people as well using tech. Like, for example,
Yeah.
like I said, like if you're selling a product and you want to meet new people, and you can obviously
Hmm.
use LinkedIn Sales Navigator, where you can just use that platform to directly
Yeah.
pitch to a decision maker or a VP in the company and pitch your product directly. So you might or might
Yeah.
not be from tech industry, but there are a lot of services that LinkedIn offer that you can actually use it. So yeah, there's a vast audience using those things.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so diverse. Okay. So as a data analyst, like what is the main tech stack which is being used in LinkedIn for like your day-to-day operations or for your
So yeah, so one thing I like about LinkedIn is they have a lot of internal tools which make your job very easy. Uh, they
oh,
have developed a great tools that so they have one amazing tool where you can kind of a drag and drop SQL. So it's hard to explain, but it's very easy
wow.
and very convenient to go. So you can just take the attribute names, drag and drop, and select the filters directly, and then the audience is ready. So that is one of the great things about LinkedIn. They have like built-in tools, but apart from that, I'm relying more on SQL every day. Like I could spend a lot of time there, but also Tableau. Tableau is for sure because we have lots of analysis doing, and we have to track a lot of many things, how the data is performing, how the
Yeah.
campaign is performing. So every week, every now and then we have to see those things, KPIs. So Tableau and SQL, I would say I rely on very heavily. Good.
If you talk about KPIs and metrics in Tableau, like what are the major focus areas for KPIs and metrics for you? Because for marketing, we know, okay, we can look at average order value, click through rate. But like for your domain, what are the
Yeah.
major KPIs you focus on?
So that, like I said, I'm working closely with the marketing team. So my main focus is to understand when I build an audience and I send it, I have to understand, okay, how they are performing. So those are the KPIs defined by the marketing team. So based on those,
Oh,
we have to see, okay, if we are going about the limit that we are told to, so then we have to do something new, or we have to pause the campaign, because that is
oh,
not something that we are looking forward to. So there are multiple KPIs that are defined by the marketing team. They want to measure a success of a campaign based on different stuff. So that's how
yeah.
it is. So it could vary from different campaign to campaign.
That's really, really interesting. Would you be able to share like a specific project where you have worked on and got the result with some valuable insights for LinkedIn? Or you have seen in your company someone working on it and it was like something really amazing and you were like just awe of that?
Oh, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share the inside information, but yeah, I'll try to give an overview of a project.
Yeah.
Like for example, suppose I'm just trying to see, okay, I'm just trying to launch a new uh, the customers basically who have just started with the LinkedIn. They have purchased something and they want to, they might not be aware of the entire services or what they have signed up to. So what we do, we
Yeah.
kind of have a process where once they are they pay for the contract or something, we send them onboarding emails where they can actually learn about the tool. So even if they're not from non-technical background, so we choose them. They get every week, they will get based on that, and they can get uh, used to new features, see how they can use it and maximize the power of their services. So that is one of the projects I worked on, and it takes a lot of work, because when you are trying to
Yeah.
build that kind of an audience, so you have to take care of every small measure. Like if a person has received this doesn't receive, he doesn't get a repetitive one or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and if he has done a particular, okay, so suppose there's one service where you save a job. If he has already
Yeah.
saved a job, then he should not receive that email, he should receive the other one. And all those things
Okay.
are should be tracked to understand, for us to understand, okay, we are not disturbing a customer a lot. So that is one of the major focus for a LinkedIn. Like, you're not bombarding anyone a lot,
Yeah.
and they're just receiving what they need to receive. So it's kind of a good, it takes a long time to execute such kind of a process, because a lot of email preparation goes into it, a lot of marketing preparation, content preparation. Like, you can even imagine that content preparation is huge, audience preparation based on different. So there might be like premium, for example, like premium plus could be one thing. So so premium customers get a different email, the other people will get a different email. So there's a lot of things. So it's a big project, but it's good to learn for us to understand, okay, what people are more engaging in and what kind of features they like. So based on that, we can make more strategies and try to uh, upscale LinkedIn as a platform.
Yeah, I mean, even I've worked on like 1.5 years on marketing analytics and customer analytics. I know I have seen it personally that how long that process, like companies are trying so hard to make it personalized, to not bombard you with a lot of notifications, to make you happy and also provide you what you need. Like
Yeah.
you have to strike like a right balance in that manner, and that's so important. Like it's amazing that companies are focusing even on like small things for the customer. I mean, that's huge. And you are doing all of that digitally. So you don't have to like go and talk to one person. You're just looking at their behavior and automating that for a customer segment. Hmm.
No, but
It's
there is
amazing.
a separate team who goes and talk to people, like sales team. They
Oh,
obviously
okay.
do that. There's lot
Oh,
many
wow.
teams, so that's why it's a big umbrella, and I'm just very
Yeah.
small part of it.
Oh, that's amazing. So, I mean, as a senior data analyst, it's very important to strike a balance between tech and business context, right? Because as you mentioned that it's very important if you're going for a company, you should have an idea of the domain as well. So how do you strike the balance between the technical proficiency, in SQL, Tableau, and balancing that with the business context of the, LinkedIn in your role or in general as well?
Uh, so basically, it's learn, and when you are trying to do something new, try to understand why are you doing it, and try to
Mm,
like be curious about it. So when you ask questions, you get to learn more, and
yeah.
that's how I feel it should be. Because, like for example, AI came into picture, so you have to keep learning, you have to understand, you have to update yourself. Okay, how can I use this and make my job easy, and that will increase your productivity as well. Because it's not like people might be saying, okay, oh, it might take my job away, or this that. They don't have to think about it. Think in a different way, like how it can increase your productivity and what way you can benefit from it. So try to use it in a positive way, but try to like be curious. Like if some task is given to you, just ask questions. Just try to understand the top to down procedure, like what is the major goal for this. So that way you
Mhm.
will be uh, you will strive through a lot. I think, yeah, that is a good thing about, like, wherever you work, it depends on your team, like how you want to present yourself and how curious you show. They will be interested into telling you the deep down process.
Yeah, even I agree that, everyone is around you trying to help you. You just have to ask. Like, you just have to ask, like, why this, why that? And if you're working with like non-technical teams, do talk to a lot of marketing people, do talk to a lot of sales people, because they have more knowledge about the business than anyone on Google, because they have seen the business right in front of them in much more detail. So I guess, yeah, asking a lot of questions does make sense, and it's a pretty good
But there is
advice.
a catch. Like, just don't go and ask questions. Do your research first. Like, if they have
Yeah,
provided you with some
question.
documentation or anything, please read it through, then ask questions. Then they will be like very happy about it.
Yeah, do your research, find right set of questions which is not available and you're curious about it and you're not able to find it online because it's specific to your business operation and your day-to-day job. Then you can go to the person and ask, not without the research. So you look like a stupid person then.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So what advice do you have for aspiring data analysts who are looking to develop this balance, or, who are just trying to, who are freshers, who don't have experience, right? So how can they prepare for a business context when they don't even have any knowledge?
That's a very good question, because I get that a lot on LinkedIn as well. Like, people try to ask me that question, like, what is your way to prepare? Like, everyone has their own kind of a skill set, but I think one of the major aspect people might be confident about, but they're lacking, me myself included, is communication skills. It is the most
Mm.
underrated, I would say. People think, oh,
Yeah,
I can communicate, I can talk to anyone, and I can make them laugh, or I can have a good conversation with a in the professional world. That's not a good thing. That's not like that's a good thing, sorry, but I would say
yeah,
that's not just it. The communication
yeah,
skills actually mean, like, you go beyond and understand what they are trying to say, and then do your thing, and also able to present your results to technical, non-technical, everyone, so that you generalize it in a way that everyone in the team understands what you're trying to do. Because you
yeah,
might sometimes be having multiple teams or multiple people from other teams working on the same project, but when you're trying to be too technical, some might understand, some might not. And
and
like, they cannot go into more details because they might not be sure about, okay, what they are trying to ask is, or what they are trying to do. So communication is a very important aspect of it, when even when you are trying to email, even when you are trying to answer a question. So there, that skill is very important, and I think LinkedIn focuses a lot on that. Because I think, when I, particularly my team, because I'm working with multiple product team, marketing team, so they are not very technical, but you have to present your results immediately in such a way that they understand it very well.
yeah. I remember from this incident that when I first joined my like the first company, and I was I was asked to send an email to a client, and I wrote such a shitty email because I didn't have the context of, okay, you have to write a corporate email and you are sending it to a client and it involves a certain language and it involves certain keywords. So I wrote it very normally, but then I realized, okay, you have to put it in such a manner that you're explaining technical things in a non-technical manner because that's a non-technical client. And you also have to make sure that you are incorporating all those corporate keywords. You have to be very polite. You can't use caps. So I actually took like email etiquette course as well. Like my colleagues advised me to, because I wrote it very normally. Like I was just passed out from college and I didn't have, I wrote it normally, but I guess for them it was very, very shitty because they have experience writing in a proper format, and I came in just like a normal person, wrote very normal email. But I mean, I so agree because that makes you feel so stupid sometimes.
That-
Because that grows with time, I guess. Now I know how to write. But yeah, if you can take, like, this is very good, like if you can take etiquettes masterclass, I guess LinkedIn has a lot of these courses where you can, just groom yourself well for the communication part in interviews as well, and like off camera as well, like while writing emails and cover letters.
Yeah, that is actually very important because I learned it the hard way. I'm telling you, I learned it very hard way. I wrote a very generalized email, but then I understood like I'm trying to
Yeah.
send it to upper management, and this is not looking good. So yeah, I learned it hard way too. But people like
Yeah.
usually they will learn more when they are actually working, but
Makes.
as an initial step you can actually take some things some time on it and understand. Like
Yeah.
also one of the aspects that will help you to build your communication skills is do learn about case studies and practice those, because that
Yeah.
will help you how to communicate with people. And when I
Mm,
mean communication, it's not just like we are having right now, but it's like a kind of a different communication where you have to be on very point and you have to choose your words wisely. So because even if one mistake in number, at least in number also you say, that could go very wrong and they can be you can be held for it. So you have to make sure
yeah.
like how you practice it, even if you don't know something, how you say that okay you can get back, there is a way to do it. So those all
Yeah.
things come into very handy when you're doing it, because there's a polite way and there's a very normal way. The normal way tends to be a harsh one, even though we think,
Yeah.
oh, we just said it, I'll get back to you, and in a way, but they think okay, they might understand, okay, this is something
I'm
he
paying
should know or
so.
she should know. Yeah, so there's a way to do it. Try to do more case studies, that will help you a lot.
Yeah, the first thing they can do is learn how to call back an Outlook email. That's what I did.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
after that, I just learned how to just call back an email. So if something happens, I know at least how to get back and just, resend the final version, which is correct, because that's
yeah.
very important.
No, work on those etiquettes. Those are very important because I think those skills are something that comes within, and those can be taught to a certain level. Those can be taught, but it can be taught to a certain level because then it
Yeah.
is on you how you carry it on. So it definitely you have to keep improving in that area.
I mean, there are so many AI tools these days that shouldn't be a problem. But you have to, incorporate that in your lifestyle, that okay, that's in your mind, that you have to write it in a certain way. You have to upskill and you have to groom yourself that whenever you write an email, it's in a professional manner and you are being represented as that.
Funny incident. Don't don't think they can't understand that
Can you
you have
continue?
used AI. They really understand. Like
So it went
even
bad.
if you no, you can understand like if someone has used AI or not to write an
Yeah,
email or something, because the word choices doesn't come within you, and the way you communicate also they know about how you communicate. So definitely don't just use AI blindly.
phrase it properly. Like, not just ask the ChatGPT to write an email for you, but you can ask
Yeah.
ChatGPT to paraphrase it properly, so that as like normal human beings, we can make paraphrasing mistakes where we are writing just in a lengthy manner and we are not incorporating like those professional terms a lot, or making it not that grammar goody. So I use it a lot for paraphrasing, so I was mentioning in that term. But yeah,
No,
yeah,
definitely
don't
you should
ask
use it.
ChatGPT.
I'm saying no, definitely you should use it, but don't just blindly copy and paste it. Like work
Yeah.
on it, or actually, you can use AI in that way where they can write and think about like how you do. Just like tell
Oh,
them what you do, and there's a
yeah.
way of doing it, so you can just do it.
Yeah. That should be really, really amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned that you use a lot of inbuilt tools in LinkedIn. So just wanted to understand, do you also have like a inbuilt visualization software, or do you focus, or do you use Tableau or Power BI? Because that's a huge debate for data analysts to pick from.
I would say like either of the works, but we use Tableau, but you can use whatever you want. I think there's not major difference in those, and if you know one, you can pick the other one. So it definitely doesn't like don't stress on that much. But yeah, just learn a one very thoroughly. The other one you can catch up.
Yeah. And what's the most important? Because I guess a lot of people perceive Tableau as like a non-tech tool where you just have to drag and drop, but I guess Tableau is much more than that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So what are your, thoughts on that?
So even my thought when I was actually like as a student when I was doing project, it was first course like it was when I was introduced to Tableau. It is so easy. Like 2 hours I can do it, I can finish it. It's
Yeah.
just that much because on YouTube you can see that. But
Yeah.
when I actually started going into deep and in the last semester when I was doing project, then I came across a professor that taught us how to actually use it to tell your story, to tell what you have actually found out or what you have actually worked on in a very innovative manner, in a very visually pleasing manner, which is easy to understand, and you register those things very fast because, for example, when you see a movie you you remember the parts of the movie very easily because those visuals stay with you. So it's similar
Yeah.
like Tableau. So I think you should consider it in such a way where you're just trying to present a story, so you
Yeah.
can make so many upgrades, so many things to do it. Like there's one, I don't know if there is it's still there or there is a better version for it, but there is one way where you can actually show how historically the data has been shifting or what data. So for example, real estate prices. So uh, in 1960s, what was the real estate pricing for that one? So you can there's actually a history way to create it, and you can pause and play a button. So if you play that button, it will show how from 1960s to 2020 the prices increase in that particular area. On a map also you can show, so you can show like if the prices increase it goes red and red or the color schema. So that way, so that is very visually appealing. So you can look at the area map and you can say, okay, I can build a building here because this has a lot of potential. So example. But yeah, it is a very powerful tool, you should use it wisely. Like
Yeah.
presentation skills also, you can present in number of ways. You can just write the information down, you can present in number of ways. So same way for Tableau, but yeah, amazing tool.
Yeah. Moving on. So, what guidance do you have for individuals who are interested in pursuing a career in analytics, but they're not sure?
Definitely, there is an area of exploration you can try and explore. Trial and error is the best method. Like you go, because what you do in like school is not completely what you're going to do in real life. It's very different because the pressure is on. Now, the pressure is not just to submit an assignment, the pressure is to submit a work which will have an impact. So, I think when you go into that position, you learn a lot many things, and it's okay. You can make mistakes. You're in the learning process. Take your time, but yeah, try to understand, learn from your mistakes while you're doing it, because if you continuously repeat it, then you come under radar and then you are not able to do it. So yeah, if you are not sure about it, just go first interest or first thing that you come across, you get an opportunity, work, understand, and see where your interest lies. That will open up a lot more options. Maybe you might like some other team while you're working with them. So that way it opens up a lot of options, I think. What would you do?
Yeah.
Are you sure about an industry?
I mean, I am. I really enjoy. A lot of people ask me that you have, completed 2.5 years in analytics. So why don't you move to data science? I'm like, no,
Yeah.
because don't enjoy data science as much as I enjoy data analytics because, you know, very frequently you get to work on new problem statements. You don't have to like spend all your time just writing codes and, you know, buzzing your head. You also get to enjoy, do the visualization part, talk to non-tech people, get a business idea as well. So I feel like
Yeah,
analytics is a really, really amazing field. So for me, if I
yeah,
have to start, I'll start. Yeah. I would not leave analytics for data science for sure. I mean, I feel data science, I mean, I don't know if I should say this, but I feel data science is very boring job. I enjoy analytics more.
it can or it cannot be, but it depends on like how what are you trying to do. So it can be exciting as well.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you do something that will impact a lot, and then it is fun to build and see the impact. How is it going? But yeah, I do
Yeah.
agree on your aspect of business, like 50% business understanding, meeting new people, trying to communicate, and that is a good way. Yeah, but people think that it is very easy to catch. So people from multiple industries do try to get into data analytics if they are not getting into any.
Mhm.
And people, so one of the things I've very commonly seen in everyone's resume, like they're trying to pursue data analyst, they write data science as well. Oh, don't
Yeah.
make that mistake. Data science is a huge industry, and
Yeah.
it's way different than what you imagine as data analyst. So the
Yeah.
perspective, the concepts, everything is very different. So just don't generalize. Oh, I'm trying to find a data analyst or a data scientist position. So that is something
Yeah.
very different, I would say.
Paid.
Don't do that. On resumes also, people just like involve all both the things, and you are applying for data analyst. So I have actually been across positions where I've been rejected for being too technical. So that is called a thing.
Oh,
That is actually a thing. Like, do consider you. People might think, oh, being technical is not harmful. No, it is. For data
yeah.
analyst, it is harmful. You cannot be too technical because people might not understand what you're trying to do.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I was talking to one HR and he mentioned that they are also looking for people who are not just technical, but who are also able to communicate those technical aspects of the coding to non-technical people. Because our job
Yeah.
revolves around the non-tech people more than the tech people. So I guess if you are in the analytics field, it's very important to communicate the tech stuff in a non-technical manner and as easy as possible with more insights and inferences than anything. So yeah, your resume should have like technical aspects and non-technical aspects.
Yeah, that's
Keywords
right.
both.
Like when I'm saying communication, I like I said, I learned the very hard way. I was rejected for multiple companies just for being too technical. I did not
Yeah.
understand like where to go from here. Like what did I do wrong? Like I'm trying to do everything best. I'm trying to give them SQL queries, but no. Then I made like a couple of people, like friends of mine, to sit with me to just listen or just record some interview and just listen to it. Like how am I doing? What am I doing? So they actually
Yeah.
gave me a pretty good feedback. Like yeah, actually what they mean is you have to show communication skills. You have to show business skills, business interest, and understanding business is also a big aspect of analytics. Otherwise you cannot just go and okay, oh, these are the sales, these are the performances. You cannot just do it. You have to understand like why, the reasoning
Yeah.
has to come along with it. So
Yeah. I mean, since you're talking about resume, I would love to know like how should one prepare? Like what are the tips you would give a fresher or a graduate student to add in their resume so that they are job ready? Like you learned you learned the hard way. So how can you make someone, learn in the easy manner?
yeah, one my quick advice would be always like maintain the format. Like for example, if you are including your GPA for one university, like you're including your GPA for masters, include it for undergrad as well. Otherwise, don't include it at all. So maintain the
Oh,
format, keep the format same, because if you just, for example, if you just include your master's GPA, and many people like even me, like engineering GPA was not good, and you just try
yeah.
to skip it, then the recruiter will definitely ask you, or they will keep an eye like, why is it not included? Because you see one, you don't see the other one. Why?
Yeah.
So don't make that silly mistake. Like try to keep the format same, and when you're trying to explain a project or your job experience, please do follow star method: situation,
Yeah.
task, action, result. it is very commonly known among people, but no one follows it. I've seen so many resumes. They start with, "Oh, I built Python library. I use Python libraries to build this, that, did analysis on this." You're not even telling them what you're trying to do. So please do follow situation, task, action, result, this method, even four pointers, but just keep it simple so that whoever is going through your resume, they only have 1 minute, they'll just glance it. So the key point should be there, okay? So that is how you can try to uh, make a resume better and try to keep it industry perspective. Like I said in the beginning also, like when you're doing
Mm,
projects, like seclude, like make it different, like a different. If you're trying to apply for healthcare, keep healthcare project related projects or more where the concepts can be applied to, not just
yeah.
putting everything all together. So yeah, that is my advice.
That's really amazing. Since we are on the first step of the interview process, which is resume, so how should
Yeah.
one, prepare for the actual interview process in US? Like you have gone through the journey for a lot of months, so I know you can explain it in a better manner. So yeah, stage is yours.
Well, definitely. So I think the first recruiter round is the easiest round. You should not even like focus a lot more on that. Just thoroughly go through the job description. Just understand
Yeah.
what they are looking for. Just actually thoroughly go through the job description. See
Mm-hmm.
if your resume is picked, they know that you match the job description. So just go through it, what they are looking for, what kind of things they are looking for, and just like know your resume in and out, what you have put. So just don't put, okay, I know Java, even if I don't know, just because it can be picked. Like people think that ADP thing will pick it up. So no, just include those things, limited things, what you are well aware of. Include those. Be precise. Just answer what it is, and keep it when you are giving an interview. Just before the interview, prepare, see the job description, understand what way you have to answer and what they are looking for. So that will be very easy for you to pass the recruiter round because recruiters are just trying to match what you are trying to match your answers to the job description. That's it.
True. Okay. What's the next round?
I think managerial round is very important, according to me, because there would be technical rounds as well for sure, and there would be a team round or anything. But managerial round uh, is very important because that is the person who will understand like how you are going to fit into their team. What are they looking for? Will you be able to achieve what the team entirely wants to? So those are the things.
Yeah.
And managerial round, no, try to be very curious, like try to actually like be curious, okay, what projects is working on, what project you guys are working on, what will be my role coming onto the team, and how will it help the team to achieve their goals for next quarter or next year. Then try to see like the team day to day, understand the team dimension, like how they are trying to do it, and based on that you will get a uh, lot of idea like what you are getting into. And I would
Yeah.
say like job is not just one way around, it's a two-way communication. You also have to be equally interested to work there, not
Yeah.
just because you want a job. So when you actually try to inculcate that theory in your mind, you will be very curious with your managerial round. So you will tend to ask questions about very deep into projects and how they will achieve it. So that will show the manager, okay, you are interested and you actually want to pursue it. So that is one way of making an impression. Also see like go through their LinkedIn profile. It is a very good tool. Like go through their LinkedIn profile, what their interests are, what they're sharing. Try
Yeah.
to keep one or two casual things in your hand so that you can talk about it and connect in a personal level or some way. Like for example, I might like some cricket team, so I might have shared or like some post on LinkedIn. Just go use it, or you can talk to me about it. So it keeps the
Yeah.
conversation light and
Personally.
makes a personal connection too.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing insight. So you also mentioned technical round. I guess it's the second round. Is the technical round?
It depends on the company. Like there will be multiple technical rounds, there will be one technical round, so it solely depends on what company you are going into. It is their procedure.
So how should one
So
prepare for the technical round?
yeah, so job description is your favorite thing. You should keep it with you all the time if you are giving an interview. It has all the
Okay.
information you need. You just have to go and search properly. So those job description will include, okay, what tools they are using, what kind of expertise they want into that. And
Yeah.
obviously, when you get a technical round interview, you can ask the recruiter question, what are the expectations and what will be the technologies that I have to use or the interview will be in. So that way you can prepare accordingly. For most probably, SQL will be for sure there, and some companies will take Python as well, or some companies will ask you to do. They'll give you data to do analysis on that, like in front of them, and walk through the process how you think. So there could be
Yeah.
multiple ways, so you can just clarify it with the recruiter. They should be your friend there.
Oh, that's amazing. What else, like, because I know the interview process from India, but I don't know like what are the steps in the US for the like interview
Oh,
process? What are the different rounds apart from like tech round and managerial round? If you can talk a bit about
so
that.
yeah. So for me, I gave multiple companies interview because I was trying to give a lot of interviews and get a job, which I was not able to at the beginning. So every company had these three rounds, I believe. Recruiter round is for sure that you can ignore.
Hmm.
That is the first round because that is the first way to go. So first round, I
Yeah.
would say managerial is very important. Like get on one. It's more of a conversation. Keep it light. Keep it like try to understand. Keep it curious. And then second will be technical round. There could be two technical round as well. Some companies take two technical round where
Okay.
they might just send a test before the recruiter round where you have to give the test online like a coding test or anything. And there could be
Okay.
one more where you do live coding. A person from the team, senior person, or some tech person will come with a set of questions. They will ask you to, uh, they'll give you instructions how to do it. So you have to do SQL or Python or some other test technically. So when technical round goes, you have to be very quick actually in thinking. So I would say, like, keep your concepts clear about technical, like just go through it once, glance over it, be calm, and if you have any questions, just straight away ask the technical person, like the interviewer, okay, oh, what do you want from this? Are you expecting this? And one suggestion I would give when you're trying to code also, like try
Mm-hmm.
to walk them through the process. Okay, what is your thinking? I'm thinking I'll do this listing member group by this because I'm trying to get this. So that way they will understand. Even if you don't get it to the right thing, even if you're 99% right, they might just select you because your thinking process is in the right direction. So that's what they want, because I think technical skills can be learned up and down.
Yeah, it's, I guess there was one interview when I was getting started right after college, and they mentioned that like I was not aware about the logic, but they were like, okay, whatever you know, just help us walk through, like whatever you know.
Yeah,
So I was stuck, and that guy only helped me like solve the question, and that was super amazing because they're ready to help. Like you just have to walk them through step by step, and they'll point it out that okay, this is where you stuck, this is what you can do, and just solve the
yeah,
question. They're also humans.
yeah. That,
They have been in us.
no, absolutely, and they want to actually hire you because they are spending time to come to interview you. Don't think that they are not interested. They are actually here to hire you. So they will try to get you beyond the line for sure, but you just have to be supportive to them as well because they have certain expectations where you have to stand there. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think walking through, making your, like, thinking clear to them or passing on to that thought will be very helpful for you.
Yeah.
So like you
I
had that
mean,
experience, I also had that experience.
wow, that's cool. Okay, so basis on this only, I have a question. So, people applying for analytics, you mentioned there are a lot of people coming from different fields and platforms as well. So, when there's so much attention on data analytics, how can one set, different from the crowd, for the job role? Because there are so many applicants. Like, if you'll go to LinkedIn and just search for a data analyst, like on one job portal, you'll find like thousands of applicants. And if you talk about grad, almost everyone would have like a similar resume. So how can one, set themselves apart from everyone else in the crowd?
Yeah, that's when the small things come into the picture. So the first thing would be your resume trimming, right? Like when I said, prepare based on industry projects. you already won over the 50%. You are in the cream crowd of the 50%. Because many people just use generic resume. They'll just go keep applying one by one. They just submit applications. They'll not even read the job description. And I'm not kidding. I was one
Yes.
of them. And yeah, that is how it is done. Like people like think, oh, I
Yeah.
have the best resume
Easy.
prepared. I just want to apply. No, like when some people say, oh, I only applied to 10, but I got 5 interviews, they are actually thinking a lot more than you. They're putting a lot of time, effort. And also, one other thing you can do is try and connect to the people like recruiter message. You don't necessarily need a premium. There's multiple ways you can reach out to them, understand the process, connect them offline, like beyond the interview process, because that is the way I used to get interview. I At one point of time personally stopped applying too much. I used to just reach out
Oh,
to people, like understanding what they're looking for, connecting offline. So that creates interest from my end, and that gives me an upper hand because not all the applicants are trying to do this. So reaching them out is a very good way, and they actually, even if someone reaches me out or reaches you out somewhere, oh, can you help me? I'm trying to get into this thing. Yeah, definitely. If I am able to help, I will definitely help. So the managers,
yeah.
so even who is hiring, they are there to help. That's why they posted on LinkedIn. So
Yeah.
try to use that, reach them out politely, try to ask questions and understand like what their expectations are before interview process. So that
Okay,
will
this
give
is
you
a
a
bit
major
weird
upper hand.
question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I have a bit weird question. So, like, apart from LinkedIn, what job platforms have you used in the past to apply for companies?
I Indeed, it was one of them. And then, so Northeastern had a really good portal for applying jobs. So they used
Yeah.
to post jobs there as well. So they had a careers portal.
Oh,
So it was very useful and helpful because they narrowed it down to Northeastern students. And so it was a nice
yeah,
way to, get an upper hand there. I use, yeah, mostly LinkedIn only. But yeah, you can connect with people, or if you know some websites, like if you know some company you are trying to target, keep a check on them, try to connect them,
yeah.
their people offline, online, wherever you can network, and try to get an inside help. That will be helpful.
Okay. So it's Indeed and LinkedIn, which are the major sources to apply for companies and the offline networking.
Yeah, there could be other also. I didn't use it. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what are the, if someone has to start from today, like a day zero into the field of analytics, what resources, courses, or strategies you would recommend them, to advance their career in analytics and just begin through? Like, do you have any recommendations?
uh, yeah, first thing is actually understand if you're trying to start from day zero, are you really interested? And what I mean by that is there are so many good YouTubers who are data scientists. They put up so many good videos of top to end process of an analyst. Go watch that and see that if it interests you or not. If it interests you, then you're in the right track.
Yeah.
But that will give you a lot of closure or what lot of vision. You know what you have to do ahead because they are really good at it. So I used a lot of YouTube videos to learn and grow because I said
That's
visually you remember more things. So try to understand like why you're trying to get into this field. Are you interested in business aspect, analytics aspect? What makes you thrive there and what makes you interested and get up do that thing for years? So that is what you're trying to get into. uh, Other thing is like once you have that clarity, okay, you want to go into this, I would say start by getting reading projects online, understanding okay the process so that you can get to know okay what skills are needed, and then start learning one by one. Like take a SQL course, take a Tableau course, then try to do more case studies, and that way you will start. And once you have a little hand on those things, try to do a project on your own. Kaggle is there. Kaggle is your best friend. Get all the data from there. Or GitHub. Try to explore GitHub. GitHub has also amazing projects. There are many open projects you can go and see. You can perform. You can take the same project and perform a different kind of analysis on it, taking other
yeah.
person's perspective. So there are so many ways you can actually learn and grow. But yeah, try your best to be innovative.
Okay. Any course recommendation, like any specific one which you are aware of, which is really good, like for SQL
I
and Tableau?
actually, yeah, I actually liked one course on Data Quest, I guess. If you go on
Yeah.
there's one certification for Data Quest that is really good. Like for SQL, they teach you everything. So from Windows
Cool.
function, and they have a really good way of, they give you real based scenarios when you're coding, and that way you practice. So it is a really good thing. I would say you should definitely try that.
Oh, that's
And
really
yeah,
amazing.
one point
Yeah.
I would say is definitely try and get a mentor. This
Yeah.
Many people think like, oh, I don't need one or anything, I can learn from my own. Sometimes, if you're gradually not being able to pass something, or for example, if you're not able to go beyond managerial round, get a mentor,
Yeah.
get a direction, understand what is lacking for you. So I would say that helps a lot. Mentorship helps a lot, and it's a good thing. Like invest $90, but you will get to learn a lot more things that you would not imagine, or you can't judge about yourself.
How can one get mentor? Like how to decide this should be my mentor? Someone you look up to, or someone in your network, or like do you have any your personal experience where you found your mentor? Or
Yeah, so
you were someone else's mentor?
no, I tried to, like, so when I was trying to do the same thing, I tried to reach out to people who were in the industry for like more than a couple of
Yeah.
years. They had experience, even if they are not working for big companies, but they are working at startups. Reach out to them,
Yeah.
try to ask them, try to get their point of view, ask them to go like try to set up call. If they connect, if they reply, there are many ways like you can do it. You can reach out to people, people are there to help. So I used to reach out to multiple analytics manager actually, and like show them my projects, connect with them. Like they used to ask me simple questions and I used to try to answer them, so they understood my communication perspective and they helped me to how to get better at it. So those were the steps I took. And yeah, like I am not that good, but I try to help as much as I can right now. Yeah.
I even saw that you are volunteering at um Northeastern startup group as well, if I'm not wrong.
No, not Northeastern. It's a particularly startup Boston. They are an organization outside and in a Boston. I actually joined them during COVID. So I was
Oh,
a very curious person. Like I was very free, and like I had that curiosity to see, understand the startup culture in America. So I used to
yeah.
just research and I came across this and I sent them, I filled out a volunteer form, but they had certain set of questions. So I took my time to answer them and I actually put my personal feelings in that, and they loved it. So they
Mm.
put me on a board as a team lead, and then I got multiple chances to, be a host for analytics. Yeah, there used to be multiple people like big managers, group manager, VP coming in from different companies, and I used to host those analytics, uh, lecture or anything. So preparing questions, getting through it, and yeah, that is how it is really fun. That way you don't have to be paid for everything you do. You just have to understand what's your passion sometimes. And like I got to learn so many things, like how they work behind, and it's very good. Like there are so many people ready to volunteer as well. Like we think who will work for free, there are people volunteering. So it's a good platform. You can also try and get into such platforms or research. There are so many things you can do. Just LinkedIn can be our best friend at that time.
Definitely. Uh, so we are almost towards the end of the podcast, and I guess this question is around every grad student, which is like what range of salary one should look for while applying for a data analyst?
Seeing the inflation or not seeing the inflation? seeing
I mean,
the,
they should expect like if there's a
yeah,
grad
yeah.
student who is graduating this year or next year, and since you have the experience, what should be the range for a data analyst in this job market, according to you so far?
So it depends on the city tier also. So where you are working and depends. So for example, Boston, where you are getting 80, $85,000, in West Coast, you will get around 100, 110 around that same thing, the same role, because of the city change. But yeah, I would say like try and like for a fresher, try and aim for minimum 80, 85. That would be a good range to start, and that is a pretty good way to get ahead. And then once you are in the cycle, you get to learn and you will know what is your worth, and then you can try for more. But yeah, that should be a head start, you can say.
Okay. And for a senior data analyst, like what's the range?
Again, like because a lot of companies were on hirees this last year, and so they actually kind of reduced a little bit. So 90, 95 plus, you should try and look for those.
Okay. Do you watch podcast?
Yeah, I do. So there is data science. There's one guy called Jay by Data Science. He's a really good guy. He explains a lot. He also you should go and watch his videos where he's trying to take mock interviews for different companies. Oh my God, that is really
Oh,
helpful. So he will walk you step by step. Okay, this was the first round. This could be the second round, and you will learn a lot through that. So definitely try and check those videos out.
yeah, definitely. I'm going to do that just right after this.
Just search mock interviews data analyst. You will get a lot of videos, and people will walk you through.
Okay.
Like there are multiple companies.
That's really cool. Okay, so what are your closing thoughts for our audience? If you can share,
See,
uh, anything about LinkedIn or data
yeah,
analytics or upskilling, like just your closing thoughts for the audience.
yeah. One thing I believe in is like everyone has their own different journey. Don't compare
Yeah.
your journey with others, or don't compare
Yeah.
like, oh, I applied to 1,000. Like for example, I applied to 1,000 companies. He applied to
Yeah.
10. He got it. I didn't get it. No, you have your own way of doing it, and everyone's journey will be a personal journey, and it is nice. Like try to do make your journey wonderful. Be excited about it, and don't compare. That is my thing. Like don't compare yourself with others might be doing something more that you are not aware of. Not everyone tells what they are doing. So yeah, carry on with your journey and try to be good at what you're doing every day. That's it.
That's a really amazing advice. Thank you so much, Ashish, for joining us for the podcast. It was really, really interesting and insightful for me as well, and I guess for it would be for the listeners as well.
Yeah, sure.
Well, if you like the podcast, do subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more episodes.